All right, good afternoon or good evening. This is my TKES Self-Evaluation Standards 3 and 4 instructional strategies and differentiated instructions. That's a good word. And I set up a PowerPoint so I can help navigate through the activity and the discussion. So then standard 3 instructional strategies. Originally I gave myself a 3, but when I went down the checklist and how strong some of the things are when it came to being a level 4 or a level 3. I kind of like, I need to like, I wish it was like a in between spot. But I put 2.5 more so on the lower end of the 2 part, but incorporate modeling and visual aids and questioning techniques. Great with presentations and opportunities for my students to be involved. Leverage the Georgia or Godot, the Georgia Department of Education resources and interactive tools like Kahoot. Always stuck with starting with the standard, introducing the standard and I can statement with my students, as well as the a nice introduction to how we're gonna go about the standards with a couple like math thinks or short reads or they call it active listening. Facilitate students discussions and collaborate group tasks. That is when we start getting into the groups or playing activities or planning activities where an individual would um, lead the group. And then my thing is what I knocked it back so far as what I seen in the requirements to be a level 3 is refining the small group instructionals to be better addressed to better address misconceptions. And then that's the time and when I always say uh, some students see it as a natural distraction to like let me be off task when it's not an opportunity to be off task, especially in small group. Just refining it. I need to get down to the nitty gritty, and it seems like, especially when it came to teaching, that like the introduction of that idea alone seemed like that's the core to having a successful classroom. But in standard 4, give myself like a level 2, recognize the importance of tailoring instructions to students' need. Always good with the initial tier 1 planning. Implement early forms of flexible grouping and data informed interventions. I'm good at collecting data and I'm good at displacing on how to use the data, but it's always the actual implementation of the data that I have struggles or problems with. And then strengthening classroom management during sessions rotation, as I was just speaking about that, creating instructions to support smoother, more effective differentiation. All right. So that's I'm trying to get better at just basically uh moving to the point where you get into the session, it's like I'm not spending the entire time a small group with my homogenous group, but they get a quick little 10 minute, exercise activity with me, just refining that, getting that down to the nitty gritty. And then it's like, boom, back into the wild you go, or back into the heterogeneous population you go. And then what is powerful instruction? Um, Definition is an instruction that uses research-based students centered strategies to promote deep, lasting learning. And a lot of the things that I know I lead my teaching or my teaching career behind in feedback, especially with the veteran teachers. Anybody telling me 10 plus years, hey, okay. Feedback, teacher student relationships, direct instructions, metacognitive strategies, real world relevance, always try to apply. So, why we're learning this material and to see or tell the students how to apply it to the real world, high order thinking, especially when it comes to fifth graders and writing personally, but definitely when it comes to having to be able to develop your own self thought backed up with opinions or ideas from other people who have done the research, command, and engage across modalities. All right, applying that powerful practices in my teaching. I do use my Kahoot tool. Do I love me some Kahoot? I do love me some Kahoot. Small group reteaching and scaffolding support. I do want to strengthen in that area. Building lessons around students' interests and prior knowledge. I'm good at that. trying to build on what they already know, especially when it comes to formative assessment, and then increase responsive in real time to better meet learning needs. Yeah, that's the quick. When we done, do a small group. How we doing it? Did you learn from it? All right, now that you done with me, go back and see and apply your new skills that you learned with me in the heterogeneous type setting. And then chosen area of improvement, like I said, I'm here. That's what I need. Differentiate instructions, classroom structure, and behavior inconsistencies during independent and small group. Um, Reduce effectiveness. Like I know what I need to do, and a lot of people say that comes with time, and I'm only 2 years in, but in time I will get it. Implement clear expectations and routines for stations. Use flexible grouping more strategically based on diagnostic data, and then pilot new engagement tools to increase student autonomy. All right. Final reflections of my ideas on how I did with standard 3 and 4. True instructional strength lies not in perfection, but constant refinement in time. And by deepening my classroom practices and embracing a flexible mindset, I aim to ensure all my learners have the support they need to succeed. I'm talking about even if they have special needs or even if they like have a slight disability that puts them behind. I aim to be an overall great general ed teacher.